Indeed, indeed. Di, what up?
What up? This lady Di, and if I hear BS from any one of y'all, I'm gonna call her out. That's it.
Man, Di, where can they find you?
Lady Di, DTM. DTM stands for Dating to Marriage. Lady Di, LADYDY, DTM.
Dating and marriage, huh? The world going to shit. Are you doing your job? Don't answer that. Tay, what up?
Hey, y'all hear me okay? What's going on? It's Coach Tay. You know where to find me, Coach Tay, but the E is a 3.
What you coach?
I'm an intimacy coach. So if you're looking
Nasty.
Layman term.
for health and wellness, hit me up. Okay, thanks. Take better care of yourself and your loved ones.
Jesus Christ. Gene, what's poppin'?
What's good? Gene.
Groovy Gene in the building. Look him up on Instagram. All your favorite celebrities, those are his friends. Groovy Gene, one of my most favoritist DJs. You heard? I said, what type of personality can I get that is new to this that could give a clean perspective with some charisma? The first person I thought of is Gene. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Gene, man. He being humble right now. We're going to get him riled up, though, for sure. You know? What did these three niggas lie about when they introduced themselves?
Absolutely fucking that.
It was
I got
the
all the
Zen
right
for
answers,
me.
all the correct answers.
You?
Correct answers, not just answers direct. Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lead the people astray. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of people up here leading the people astray. I'm gonna point you in the right direction. Follow
Okay.
me.
What'd you say?
It was the Zen for me.
You got a microphone.
Lies. Yeah, lies. All lies.
You said what, love?
Zen. I'm in my Zen era, and I came here to spread love and Zen.
The fuck? I don't understand
Because
that
I
shit.
have evolved, and so I always say, if you stay in one place and stay stagnant, you die. And I am growing and going towards my highest self and a better version of myself, and I'm on that journey. And so therefore, you will see Zen. I'm going to rebrand myself as Zen. You can call me Zen Love if you want.
Yeah, hey, I'm with that. Put your hands together for that, you know.
Okay, yeah, she's something about self-love. What did Mr. Fantastic
Self-love.
say? What'd you say?
Me, man. Talking
Microphone.
about me. That's what I said. Me.
What'd that mean?
Everything. What you mean? That's what it means. I mean, one and only. What you talking about?
You guys speaking to the microphone, good brother.
He leaving out some things.
Well, pause for one, because I'm not used to holding up a microphone type object close to my face. Okay?
Pause, bro.
Weird.
Everybody's holding the mic, though.
Okay? So, but work with me. But hey, man, it's me. You know what I mean? So,
Indeed.
you know what I mean? That's all I have to do.
All right, cool, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. Salute to everybody here. This might be Risky Live number 2, right? In person, man. So we getting better. Salute to everybody here. I'm humbled by y'all presence. And let's have a good one, man. After this, we going to Allure. They got hookah, food, alcohol, music, good times. All right? Everybody with it? All right, man. All right, I'm going to open up with this question here, man. Salute to Mr. Fantastic for going through the question for me. This question: how can women who've never experienced leadership disqualify leadership of men? Damn, who questions this? How can women who've never experienced leadership disqualify, or qualify, right, for that matter, leadership of men? So they never seen leadership, they didn't have their fathers in the home, and then they get to qualify what men are leaders and who aren't. How does that make sense, Di?
It don't.
Don't. Talk your shit.
They may just be getting it from their boss at work.
What you mean?
So the leader at work, they're getting an idea of what it looked like, even though that's a professional setting, but they're trying to implement it in the house, saying that this is what I need in a man. So they look at their boss in that way, probably.
What if their boss is a female?
Well, then they can't say nothing. They can just sit down.
Okay. But the question seems to be derived from the fact that this is overwhelmingly happening. So women that can or can't identify, you can't tell the difference because they all got an opinion on who's a leader and who ain't. So how do you solve for that?
It just need to be more leader men that's listening to them. Tell them to just sit down, stop talking. You don't know, kind of disqualify them. I think a lot of men are not speaking up to women that talk nonsense.
Oh, so you saying it in another way that men ain't the leaders. You just flipped it.
Yeah,
So you agree with those women?
no, I don't. I'm saying, so there's men that, I'm not saying because they don't want to speak, they're not a leader. I think maybe they should just start talking when they hear nonsense and speak and say, hey, this is not how it is, to people that's talking about it, like the women.
Okay. Anybody else? What you think, Gene?
So I'm again, y'all heard that I'm extremely new to this, so I'm trying to catch up because y'all are talking about leadership specifically in relationships.
Leadership specifically in relationships, and then women who've never seen leadership is the sentiment telling men they are or are not leaders.
So I think that that's case by case. I don't think that you can like generalize in that situation, and I also don't think that you can tell somebody that they can't know to expect something based on what they have or haven't had. Because there might be some things that I've never had, but I may still know that I want that or expect that. So it all depends. I don't think there's a general answer to the question.
Okay. But how would you know that you're receiving it or not if you've never had it?
You may not, but you may receive it for the first time and know, hey, I like this, or know that I don't. I hear you in the point of like being opinionated about things that you've never experienced. I think that that's a different nuance to the question. But like you can not experience something ever and experience it for the first time and know that, I
That was
enjoy
right.
this or I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
I think what Gene's saying is you can have expectations for things you haven't experienced.
Okay.
So that just because you haven't experienced don't mean you don't have expectations for what it should look like.
Okay. But see, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the problem, right? So something that's unfamiliar, something that's alien to you completely, right? Your expectations are unrealistic, or they're not qualified. So it's like boxing.
Not qualified to who?
Well, you're not qualified because you're a novice in judging what it is. It's completely, totally alien to you. So I'll use this concept, right? With aircraft, there's these things on the aircraft that look like machine guns, and everybody think they're machine guns, right? They're not. They're actually something for the temperature system in the airspeed system for the aircraft. But because everybody think they're machine guns, until you get into the actual field, you have no idea that it has nothing to do with the weaponry system at all, right? So a woman that's never experienced leadership, it says, oh, well, a leader should do this, 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 a leader should do this. Well, no. You don't know what a leader should do. And then, as you know, good leaders have to adjust to their followers. You know what I'm saying? There are different leadership styles, and everybody can't be led the same. So if one leader, he's a hard-nosed guy and so on and so forth, blah, 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 that woman is never going to be compatible if she's, let's not say rebellious, but if she's not a fall-in-line person, right? It's something that you learn in actual leadership studies and classes and things and so on and so forth, because you have to learn people and their personalities. So when the follower is telling the leader that they're a bad leader, you're starting off wrong on the offset because you're a follower. If you've never been in a leadership position, you're not in the position to tell the leader that he's wrong, because he has the experience, he has the knowledge, he has the leadership that you don't yet understand because you've never seen it and you've never experienced it, or you've never had to be in that position.
So women should just say they don't like the leadership style. So instead of just picking like, they could just basically say, I don't want to be with you. I want to find a leader that I'm looking for.
Exactly, but instead of doing that, Lady Di, what they do is they say he's a bad leader. So instead of saying, hey, his leadership style, he was a great leader, right? Which they never do that. We never see a woman say, well, he's a good leader, but we just were incompatible. He's a bad leader. That's what it's always said. These are women that's never had a dad in their life, never even had a good relationship, right? So if you don't got a dad in your life, none of the men you had worked out this about shit, how can you therefore tell when you come up with the good man, you're not gonna know what he looks like? He's gonna be foreign to you. He's gonna be problematic because now he has order, he has structure, he has discipline, he has all these things that she isn't used to, and that's the basis and foundation of good leadership. So more likely than not, when a woman is saying a man is a bad leader, that's a man that actually has the qualities of leadership, but she just does not want to follow. And what we never talk about in leadership is there is a such thing as bad followers. right? Women never take accountability and being, okay, well, I'm just a bad follower, or I don't want to be a follower at all.
So I'm gonna flip it real quick. So these women don't have fathers, uncles, or whoever in the house. So why do we expect women to understand what leadership is and have that question?
You can't. We're talking about expectations and qualifications. You can't qualify. You don't have a leg to stand on if you haven't experienced it and can't talk about it. If you don't know what it looked like, how are you going to identify it?
Because they didn't have dads.
But it's
Yeah.
that's just like talking about sex when you're a virgin. If you don't have a leg to stand on, you should be out of the conversation.
Exactly, Tay.
So
But,
how do you qualify a leader if you've never been led or you don't know what it looks like?
Tay, that's exactly the point. And again, we have women that have never been around leaders, don't know what leadership is, right? And we know when we changed from the, I think Di used the senior subordinate job situation, right? It's totally different when we're talking about intimate relationships, right? There's a lot of give and take. There's a lot of compromise. There's a lot of things and so on and so forth. And we know women, for all intents and purposes, selfish as hell, my way, or you're just a horrible person, right? So now we had this situation as to where the man is saying, nah, babe, we need to do this because, hey, you said you wanted the house in 3 years. So we can't do the trip to Cabo. We can't do the extravagant anniversary celebrations. You can't blow all this bread if you say you want this house in 3 years. Well, no, well, we can do this and we can do that. Okay, well, we can do this, we can do that. That's gonna push back. Oh, well, you just being cheap. No, see, and it's always this thing to where if the man, even when he has a solid plan, he's gonna be looked at as being harsh, cheap, all these negative things because he's sticking to a proven leadership model.
So I think that there's an assumption that's implied in this question that this woman has never seen good leadership just because she hasn't had a father in the house. And I know they were stated like maybe at work, but what about uncles or grandfathers? And or she has been around men and it didn't work out, not because necessarily they were bad leaders, they just weren't aligned, but she had experiences with men. And she's like, yeah, he wasn't good with money. And I know where my weaknesses are or where my needs of improvement are. So I know that my leader needs to be inspirational in her aspiration. That's a part of it. And so I'm gonna flip it on his head. How do we know, why are we assuming that men are good leaders automatically? If all wait a minute, hold on. All these men that are raised by single mothers, which is the bane of the community, you're making the automatic assumption that these men are good leaders. And so there are such thing as bad leaders. There are. There are bad followers too. Go ahead.
Majority, minority.
Of bad leaders versus good leaders,
Yeah.
I think that if I had to make the majority versus minority discussion, I would say minority are good leaders.
Okay, so
because
why?
a lot of because a leader think they have to lord over someone to be a good leader, and that's not a good leader.
Okay, that's a great point. So why are these women letting these bad leaders get them pregnant, have kids by them?
What is happening? Yo, like I want to be in the rabbit hole. I do, and I know I'm new, but I feel like y'all are creating like the perfect storm for the person that you're thinking about. Like everything that you like, every curve in the conversation that y'all are having goes to like a specific person. Like my man just navigated us to the woman who's getting pregnant. I agree with your point about like leadership. Like I don't think anyone is necessarily a good leader because of something specific. And I do think that life can teach you things. I don't think that I didn't grow up in the crib with my father. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that you can identify someone's end at their beginning point. And so it's just interesting listening to y'all and how y'all are navigating back to that one person that.
But no, it's not a one person thing. So actually, I'm speaking to the majority, right? So when I brought up the.
Well, so just so we can get the premise of this, I fundamentally disagree with your majority.
That's cool. It's great. Well, you can fundamentally disagree with the facts. The facts are that.
Well, and just to clarify, you're saying that, Gene, you're saying that the fact that they didn't have the father.
Yeah, I'm saying that for most of this conversation, you can't generalize. So, somebody don't got a father, so they a bad leader, or somebody didn't experience a father, so they don't know leadership.
Pinpointed.
Yeah, I'm like, you
say
can't just say, because of this, You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. So to the point, like I said, we're speaking to the stats, right? So the stats, that's how we ended up to the thing of where the women are getting pregnant, right? So 70+% single mother rate. Most of these women say that the men, their baby daddies ain't shit, can't, don't want, broke, dusty, all these different things. They don't take care of their kids. So I'm going by what the women say, right? So the women are saying that all these men that they're allowing the ultimate leadership in leading their gene pool and their offspring. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
And that's a fact.
I would say that the stats suggest that men aren't even capable of leading themselves. Like when you by yourself, you're not doing a good job of leading yourself. Like especially in our community, black men, like we're not doing that great ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So you're not doing a good job of leading yourself. So how do you then now assume that black men should be capable of leading all of the women?
So wait. What are black men not doing good in?
Succeeding.
How so?
You're at the bottom of the totem pole.
By who
By
saying it?
any metric, whatever metric.
Well, no,
you wanna look at.
so that's where you're wrong. So like I said, so when you start saying things and it's
Well,
crazy,
wrong?
yeah, you're wrong. You're talking shit wrong. We can bet $1,000 on it right now. So the lowest earning men, three men that are lower earners than black men: Hispanic men, Pacific Islanders, and Native Americans, and it may be a couple of others, right? Now the problem when we start doing these things and black men start bashing ourselves and talking shit about what we're failing and so on and so forth, black men are still doing a lot better than guess who? Our counterparts. Okay, in every way, shape, form, and fashion.
Hey, when you compare yourself to the bottom of the bucket, then I guess you can win. I'm not that kind of guy.
Well, if you're calling black women the bottom of the bucket, you said that.
No, you compare yourself to the people. You could compare yourself to Pacific Islanders and Native Americans.
Well, again,
people
you said we
consider
were the
bottom of
worst.
bucket.
Well, no, I'm correcting you because you said we were the worst. So again, there's always going to be a bottom, correct?
I'm saying you're not doing a good job of leading yourself.
Well, no, you're
Now
doing
talking
a great
about-
job of leading yourself, and there's a lot of things that play into, because I mean, do you know who's the highest earners in the country? You do it. Just quick question. Who's the highest earners in the country? Do you know?
By what category? By race?
Earners, yeah, by race.
Obviously, Caucasian.
Wrong. So you're not qualified to be in this conversation. You're not qualified to be in this conversation.
He's saying so.
Who is?
Asians by a lot. And
For real? Which
yeah,
one?
all kinds of different Asians at that.
Stop it.
So you want to bet money? I said we can bet a band on it right now.
So the Asians obviously include the East Indians and et cetera, right? So they are the highest earners in terms of just money, right? So white people, so if there's $1, white people are the dollar, and then we earn, I think it's 87 cents for every dollar, and then I think they're like $1.18, like the Asian people. But what was the point of saying that though? Why are we talking about them?
Well, he shit on black people, and then so I had to see assess what his knowledge was about.
Well,
actually
I think
the bottom of the barrel
so.
and the qualifications.
Okay, but his retort is, if you're doing so, if let's say we made it like sports. If I'm in the SEC, it doesn't matter how many Mountain West teams I beat if I can't compete in the SEC. The SEC is where I gauge myself. So if I'm beating Mountain West teams, who gives a fuck? So when you name the Native Americans, Pacific Islanders, and the Hispanics, who cares, right?
You have to care.
Because why are we measuring how good we are based on the bottom? That was his retort.
Well, the point is this, right? So
Yeah.
in any and everything, right? Business. Let's talk business, right? So you have in medians. Let's go medians, right? So the median. So you have medians. Medians is top to bottom, right? The middle between, right? So is everybody gonna be at the top? No. Is everybody gonna be at the bottom? All right. So when you incorrectly say that black men are at the bottom, you have to correct that. First and foremost, because we're black men, right?
So you're just saying that's just not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
But are you saying that we're doing well?
I'm saying we're
black men?
doing damn well. So when it's not even me, right? So to see where black men had to overcome and come from racism, Jim Crow, you guys still talk about this in unequal laws and judiciary system, all these different things, so on and so forth, right? And I think, what is it, HAMP? I think it's 60% of black men are in the middle class or upper middle class, 60%. So if 60% of black men are in the middle class, right, at least at the bare minimum, that the stats say the majority of us are doing well, right? Stats say the majority of us.
There's
are doing
no
well.
way that's fucking possible. This
Well, it
shit
is what it
black
is.
men in the middle.
Well, again, you're again, brother. You're completely and totally uninformed. You said white people were the highest earners, so you don't know any of these things. You just talking.
I'm sure that I'm right.
They actually reported that on CNN. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
That what?
that 64% of black men were in the middle class.
Oh, cool. So what percentage of black men are in jail?
30%.
No, no, no,
30%.
no, no.
Well,
Less than 1%.
30% of the jail population is black men.
what percentage?
Less than
But
1%.
hold on. But it's only 1 million people in jail.
Now, 25% of African Americans live underneath the poverty line. These are just all women and kids, not men. Because I'm trying to see, so we got a lot of niggas in jail. We got 25% of African Americans underneath the
Well,
poverty
it's only-
line.
it's
You're
only-
telling me 60%
it's
of
only-
us are
it's
in
only-
the middle class.
400,000. It's
Yeah,
only
so I gotta
400,000 black men in jail.
Yeah, so it's so there's 1 million people in. I think it's like 1.5 million people in jail altogether, and then 500,000 of them are black people, including women.
All right,
But most of them are men,
All
though.
right, so we're killing it. All right, my bad. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, you didn't realize it.
Yeah.
You're welcome. No, you're welcome for the education, brother.
Nah,
Well,
you
but
didn't educate me.
Corey,
Hey,
Corey,
wait, step on
We're
back.
killing it.
what you're pointing
You're
out,
not killing it, but everybody else is killing it.
what you
We know I'm killing it, baby. I'm good. I'm good to go.
what you pointing out, Corey, is in terms of the jail populace, we have an overrepresentation. So when you talk about jail people, right? And if we're 14% of the country, but 30% of the jail population, that's still an issue if you're talking about the
we're getting
criminal
sidetracked on the
demographic.
conversation.
Yeah, we are. But I just
So-
want to make sure that everybody understand the statistics. Now, how do we get back to the leadership conversation?
Yeah, let's get back to that. My take was I don't think
Black men
a
are
lot of
leading
men are doing a
themselves
good
well.
job of leading themselves.
Uh-huh.
So just to assume that just because you're a male that you would be a good leader, I think is probably a terrible assumption.
Do you think men are the leaders?
I don't subscribe to any person being a leader based on what's between their legs. I think the leader should be the person most capable of being a leader, and that could be anybody. So if you're not capable of it and you partner with someone who's a better leader than you, then they should be the leader, regardless of what's between your legs.
Okay. And when you say men aren't leading themselves well, how do you come to that sentiment?
Well, so I was just basing it on general societal observations. I don't think when I look out at society, I don't feel like we're doing a good job of leading ourselves. I don't feel like we're in a great place or in a place that we need to be.
Yeah. Wait. Well, you said you feel. What do you think? How did you get to that premise to where you're saying men aren't leading themselves well? What are you seeing in the earth that makes you disqualify men as leading themselves well?
Well, I was talking specifically to black men, and I just don't. I don't think as a whole, and I think if we're being honest with ourselves, we can obviously say that black men as a whole aren't in the position that they need to be in society. I got to that from observation with my two eyes. I look.
Is that with wealth, like money?
All of the above, yes. Wealth, money, home ownership, jobs,
Marriage.
fucking whatever, career achievements, Fortune 500 companies. Like, what business do you own? With net wealth, the average black family has like a net worth of like $5,000 or some shit, right? So all of those things, whatever metric you want to look at, we're not winning any metric. So I don't know what metric y'all are looking at to see that we winning it, because I missed that metric. But the ones I look at, we're not doing as well as we need to be. So I don't think we're doing a good job of leading ourselves when we're in a single position. So to assume that we should be able to lead other people is a stretch.
I think to answer the question, because I don't think I did, I think women should be able to voice whatever opinion they have, regardless of the experience. And I think the person they're asking it to should be able to check them. And that should solve the problem.
Yeah, and again, this narrative that black men are just doing so bad is 20-year-old rhetoric, right? So, you can't blame the black man for the family woes when black men are married more than black women, even though they're lesser than us, right? Black women are only demographic to have a higher divorce rate than marriage rate. So black men can't succeed when you're coupled with the most negative in a lot of categories when it comes to finances, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to all these things. We literally can't outcompete that, because what do we know? Sociologically,
If you're a good leader, then you can lead them out of a bad situation. Then that's part of the problem. That's why I'm saying a minority of men are good leaders, and the majority are bad leaders, because a good leader can lead someone out of a bad situation into a better situation. So based upon, I'm going to use Fantastic's logic, that makes you a bad leader then, because you're not inspiring and or motivating and or moving this so-called gutter category of black women into success.
Yeah, no, you can't.
And therefore, no, you can't. A good leader can.
Well, they say Jesus was black, but we not Jesus, right? So having that understanding again, even though Jesus was black, we not Jesus, right? So again, you literally cannot do that, and this is a horrible misconception of what people think leadership is, right?
Well,
So,
define what a good leader is. Then let's start from the basics. Let's start
Okay.
with the baseline. What are their characteristics and traits? Top 5
So
of a
top
good leader.
5 traits of leadership.
good leader, a good leader.
Order, discipline, consistency. Order, discipline, consistency. Understanding or being able to adjust to people's leadership styles, the people, and knowing your people. So adjustment and knowing the people that you're leading.
You said
right?
adjusting to them, you said? Did you
Yes,
say-
adjusting. Well, I'd say rather than saying adjusting, caring, right? So caring enough about them would give
Okay.
you enough to where, hey, a good leader understands you can't lead everybody the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody doesn't have the same personality. Everybody doesn't have the same knowledge. Everybody doesn't have the same ability. All these different things,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the problem is, though, there's some people that are just bad followers. And you have to get attention to those bad followers, right? And they're not gonna like it because now you're gonna have to hone in on them. If everybody else is doing great and doing good, they're good, right? You don't have to talk to them, you don't have to this, you don't have to that, you don't have to single them out. They're pretty much, self-promoting, right? This motivation thing and so on and so forth has a degree to where it becomes negative, it becomes counterintuitive. If I have to come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. No, hey, get your lazy ass the fuck up and let's go.
That's opposite of caring, though. You said they have to be caring,
is
right?
caring. That's
And
tough
in
love.
addition to that, we're talking about the one-on-ones, right? And so you're talking about a black man leading a black woman. So a woman that you're interested in may have not had a quote-unquote good leader. It's just that she.
Hey, let me get your because her question, right? Asia, I guess my question, just to clarify, right? You're saying why can't they lead bad followers out of bad situations if they're such good leaders?
Well, no, I was relating that to his point. That's
Microphone.
all. Oh, sorry. I was relating that to his point. So I was retorting his
And
point
your
of how
retort was
can
what specifically?
if you're such a great leader, then you can lead these black women that are quote unquote, according to him, the bane of society.
Hold on. So-
because they're
so-
bad managers. I think he said money was a sport.
Gotcha. Now, can you lead bad followers though? Can a great leader overcome bad followers in your estimation?
Define a bad follower, because we're just throwing terms.
Whatever,
What's a bad
whatever you.
follower?
No,
Doesn't
let's make
listen.
it easy.
A
Whatever,
not used to person.
whatever you know a bad follower to be, that person.
Yeah.
So can a
yes.
great leader
Yes.
overcome bad followers?
Absolutely.
Now, in what type of situations, right? So when I'm coaching the kids, Asia, I agree more there because I can take away football from them. They won't have the opportunity to play football if they don't listen to what I'm telling them.
Okay.
Right? So now when you're dealing with autonomous beings in relationships, right, where she thinks it's subjective that she's a bad follower, how does a great leader overcome that?
Because I'll use your example for example.
Football?
Right? The good coach has bad followers or kids that are bad and not want to listen on the team. And so the way you motivate them or inspire them, I use my words, motivation and inspire, is by saying, you know what, get off the team. Because if you can't follow these rules, you got to get out, right? And
That's a consequence.
Hold on.
That's a consequence, not a motivation.
It is.
Well,
Okay,
let her
fine. You're
finish
motivated by the
retort.
consequence. I am motivated by the consequence. So I'll relate it back to relationship. If I'm such a bad follower, but I come in contact with a great leader and a good leader, the consequence is we can't be together because
Women
we're not.
have vaginas.
I'm talking because we're not aligned. So I got to get up out of here. It's a conversation, and because I want to be with you, I may not like your leadership style. I may not appreciate or understand it, but I don't want to suffer that consequence of not being with you.
Let me say
And so
something.
that's the consequence.
So I'm gonna speak from experience with my husband now. So I'm his second wife.
Shout out.
His-
My dog. Sorry.
James, right? So I'm his second wife. His first wife was a bad follower, and he tried to lead her into the direction that I'm in right now. I consider my husband as a good leader, and he was a good leader with her. Not saying he was perfect. I'm pretty sure he grew over the years. But the wife he had at the time, she should have been able to follow his lead because he had her set up where she didn't have to work and all this stuff, right? She had a child, they was doing that. But then she wasn't listening. He threatened, okay, we need to get a divorce. That didn't help, because that's what you said, right? To help we end the relationship, basically. That didn't help her, it actually got worse. And then they end up getting a divorce, but she's still the same now. So sometimes it really just depends. The bad seed is the thing. Some people are just not going to follow a lead, period, regardless if they're good or not. And that's just the experience I had with him. Now I'm his second wife, and he's leading me, and I'm okay with
But
it.
the sum thing doesn't move us forward. So the sentiment is that the majority of black women are bad followers. Do you agree with that sentiment?
I agree that majority, only because I hear a lot of women complaining about their man not leading properly.
Yeah, in the words of Charles Barkley, terrible, okay? And again, shout out to HAMP, shout out to Brother HAMP. We'll go back to the Bible. HAMP, how many disciples did Jesus have?
A lot, but they talk about the 12.
They talk about 12 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them 12 did what?
Turned on them.
Hold on. Not Jesus' homeboy.
Yeah, his man.
Not one of the ones that was dipping in the... So hold on. So if Jesus... Shout out to my man Jab. Okay? If they couldn't follow Jesus, what the hell a nigga gonna do? A regular nigga? I can't dip my finger in this and turn no wine.
But wait,
Hey, that was a great point, and we appreciate that question from whoever submitted it. Second question.
Nigga, you don't.
I love to answer the question.
This is bad followers, nigga. You ain't in charge of shit.
I don't know. We got
Sit your $6
hold up.
right
We got
there
some
and
good,
be
we got
quiet.
some spicy questions asked by the audience, and they trying to get some answers to their questions, bro.
Cut his mic, Monty.
Come on, it's off my bad.
All right, so let's do this then. Yeah, but I agree,
We
right?
got some spicy questions.
So-
Let's get to it, man.
I wanted to see if Gene had a point for this. Di wanted to say something, and then Tay, if you wanted to say something on this, then we'll rotate.
Yeah, I think my point kind of stays the same. Like once we start generalizing, I think it becomes very easy to argue. It's like once you say most people over here or most people over there, like it creates an unnecessary argument. The only question that I have kind of for you and my brother, your situation in regards to the leadership thing, and fantastic, you sparked it talking about the Bible, because I feel like purpose was left out of the convo, right? So we're talking about leadership and bad followers. And my question would be, all right, so if you say that the last woman was a bad follower, where in the leadership do we discuss trying to change someone who's not going in the direction that you want? And does that make them a bad follower? Does that make you a bad leader? Or does it say that the relationship there is absent of purpose and it just shouldn't be? And that's what I say when I say generalizing, because it could be mad shit, right? It could be a whole bunch of different reasons. But it's like maybe the previous young lady, that what y'all weren't a fit. And it may not be he was a bad leader or she was a bad follower. It just there was no purpose in that relationship.
Well, there was no purpose in that relationship. That's why I'm here. But at the same time,
Talk your shit.
at the same time, to me,
And it's not specific to you, because
No,
I don't want you to think that it's y'all's situation. But I'm saying in that archetype.
yeah. So to me, a leader, there are like 5 different type of leaders if you want to talk about in a professional way, right? But in a relationship, to me, it's the same type of leader that every man usually carries the same type of characteristic of leadership. So if, let's say, the bad follower that we're talking about, his ex-wife, listening to your husband should be like, you should be able to do that, just like he's listening to her. So if you can't technically do that skill, then she would be a bad follower because it's just listening. Simple stuff. So I'm just saying in the way, like, I think all leaders should have the same qualities, which would still make him a leader.
And this is what I mean about, like, we kind of omitted one thing. Because again, yes, if you are a leader and we're saying that you're a good leader, and someone is a bad follower, how long do you attempt to lead a bad follower
Good question.
until you're a bad leader?
And that's to the question. Like, I think kind of what.
Or
kinda
are you a
like-
bad leader if you select bad
No,
followers?
it depends on their tolerance.
If you date a woman
they-
for a couple of years and you realize she's a bad follower and you wife her up and impregnate her, are you really a bad leader? But continue.
Or if you're intolerant, then you just cut it off.
That's the thing.
I'm
Like,
asking questions.
So yeah,
People-
so
You
so
all right? Let me. We gotta rotate, right?
I'm just asking questions. I
So
don't
here's
know.
the thing. What you point out with autonomous beings, right, in a free society, quote unquote, is you can't dish out consequences, right? There's no consequences you can give her to correct that behavior. She has to want to change innately, internally, right? And so the consequence that you dish, the only one you have is to remove yourself, you know? And if we're saying that that's what you have to do, then I wonder what point it actually still means in the conversation. If you have to leave it in order for either change to be effectuated or to just not deal with it, you know? Because with the kids, I can make them better because they listen and they understand that the consequences are dire and then they buy in. Let's get it, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. It helps the channel the most. This might be risky. We in the building, man. Live podcast. We appreciate everybody coming out. Question 2. Why do men pick hoes to mess with instead of picking a woman to wife?
hey man, shout out to Outkast. How we love these hoes. How we love these hoes. Listen, man,
What does that mean?
hoes serve a purpose. All right, hoes serve a purpose. Hoes are fun. Hoes are practice for your real relationships. All right, all the things you don't want, you don't like. All right, that's what hoes are for. Hoes are for you to identify the red flags in bad women.
And this is the problem, and that
Is that a
right
real
there
thing? Is he
is
for-
problematic. Hence me saying what I said the last, which I will not bring up though, because because you sit there and say hoes are fun, and you sitting there saying that's what hoes. A good leader would not share. A good leader would not share his energy.
We're past that question.
No, I'm talking. I don't care about that question. I'm talking about period. A good leader. I'm talking about because men are leaders, right? Forget about that question. I'm talking
Good
about
leaders
period.
have to have bad followers to know what a bad follower is. So hoes are bad followers.
Oh,
So that's
child.
how you know not to deal
And
with
now
a
you're being
hoe.
disingenuous because
No,
you didn't say
I'm
that the
not.
last time. What I'm saying is this: you don't share your energy with just any hoe. That's lack of dick discipline. And the problem is with men; they lack dick discipline because they don't see the greater picture and they don't see long term. They want what's right now. They want short term. That's a problem. And the same person that you sit there and share your energy with and you lay down with and potentially give your sperm to, you'll dog her out, call her the bane of society. You make a baby with her and be like, you should have picked better. Nah, nigga, you should have picked better. You should have had dick discipline. You should have disciplined yourself and not messing with hoe. You go after a wife. You need to know what you want in a wife and you go after a wife. That's the problem. Y'all think it's okay to be messing with hoes to learn what you really want. No. You know who you are as a person by understanding yourself first, not sitting there making a whore out of women in a society. And that, because you sit there and be lying to them. You sit there and be women in the first place.
You ain't got a lot of hoes. You ain't got a lot of
Yeah,
hoes.
you do.
No,
you
don't.
promise a hoe and you let her think that she's the one. You give her your attention.
hold on.
You give her your attention to make her think that you like her. That's
So
problematic.
just real quick, all the non-married, non-committed men in the audience, do you have to lie to hoes? Louder, niggas.
Yeah, y'all are saying that now, but you
Loud.
can't
don't gotta
tell
lie
me.
to no hoe.
Yes, you
Now
do.
hold on, now it's crazy. You know what? Hemp, we always hear about this dick discipline thing, right? Dick discipline. Where is the pussy preservation? Why we don't never talk about pussy preservation? Why we always talking about dick discipline?
Because you're the leaders.
Who controls sex?
Because you're the leaders.
Who controls sex? Who
Y'all-
controls sex?
The woman does, but you have to sit there and
Oh,
tell
the
her
woman does.
something.
Oh,
But you
oh,
tell
so
her
hold on,
something
hold
to
on.
get in her drawers.
I purposely
You
didn't
can't-
interrupt you, ma'am.
Yeah, you did interrupt. You did interrupt me.
I know I didn't. I literally didn't say that. I set the mic down.
Yo,
your
y'all
voice
single?
is real loud.
Y'all two single?
Almost definitely.
Are both of y'all single?
I'm single.
I feel like y'all should work that out.
Hell no.
It's getting sexual attention down there.
Hell no.
I'm just saying.
Shit, Gene.
Just saying, y'all might want to work that out.
Yo,
We
feel like
feel
yo,
sexual
there's a
tension
couple
over it.
rounds that need to be had over there.
You asked the question to the fellas. I'm gonna answer. Give me the question again because I want to make sure. I
why
answer
do
specifically.
men pick hoes to mess with instead of picking a woman or wife?
Time.
I would say the easy answer to that is like finding a life partner is a hard thing to do, and it takes a lot more time. But you know, while you doing that on that journey, you still want to have fun. You still want to enjoy your life. So then you mess with hoes. That's really what it is. It's you trying to. The ultimate goal is to find a wife, but that's a long process. And that may take years. But
That's also not everybody's ultimate goal, right?
Say that again.
I said I'm agreeing with you, and that's also not everyone's ultimate goal.
That's true. That's not everybody's ultimate goal. But if that is your ultimate goal, it may take years to find your life partner.
but
But in
here's-
the meantime, you want to have fun.
Here's a follow up though, Gene. Do you think that's most men's goal? Like just from what you know
You're
and understand.
never ever going to hear me say most. I don't know all these niggas. Like I don't. I
You
don't.
think-
The
well,
people
just how
in
niggas is-
my
yeah,
circle.
how niggas is moving.
You my homie. Where you at?
okay? But
You
then-
know the niggas I be around.
and
Where they at?
So it's the minority then.
I can't. I'm only speaking for the niggas I know. I think that's how we get into all of these bullshit arguments and these battle of the sexes debates because everything is most niggas this, most women this. Like yo, I don't know all. I know the niggas in my circle. My homie just got engaged. You met like my guys. They thinking about it. I'm single right now, but it's definitely on my mind. So for me, I would say the majority of the men I'm around are focused on it.
I think that's fair. So here's the truth, Di and Tay. Niggas is out here fucking, and then they find a woman they like, and then they marry her.
Oh, that's how that works.
So it's literally niggas is just playing the field, trying to get cheeks, and then boom, oh shit, I like her a little bit.
Wow, that's how that works.
Then you start wanting to take her personal. You don't want her to deal with other people, and then you just move it forward. It don't be no, I'm looking for a wife radar. That's not what's happening for most niggas.
Wait,
I'll let you talk. Go ahead. 'Cause
but
that sounds nuts.
It also
Why-
it depends on your circle too, though.
why y'all talk bad about hoes then?
Who's
I
y'all?
want you to answer.
It's hoes, it's hoes.
Oh, me? Oh, why do we talk bad about hoes? So just because the guy's playing the game don't mean you have to fall for the game. Like, you got to be stronger, you know. Just because he out here looking for cheeks don't mean you got to give up cheeks.
Who said anything bad about the host?
But she a hoe because she giving up cheeks. I'm
Yeah.
confused. What you talking about?
Come on now, y'all talk bad about hoes all the time.
So hold on, I got a
Fantastic.
quick.
Why?
I got a quick.
I'm trying to meet this y'all that keep
what
talking
is-
about.
So that's I was going to ask you. So what is talking bad about the hoes? Give us like an example. What do you see that we say about hoes that's bad?
So she give it up too easily. You know, she's not wife
That,
material.
we don't talk bad about that at all. Never.
I do.
Never. No, we don't.
You
No.
won't wife her.
No. Well, again, so.
Your hoes get wiped every day.
Okay, body count. She got
Sorry.
two
Say that again.
men,
Hoes
right?
get
That's
wiped
bad.
every day.
So hold up. So body count, right? Let's
Okay.
talk body count.
There we go.
So do we agree that a woman that has a high body count is a bad thing? Do we agree?
Yeah.
All right. So we talking bad about bad things.
bad about the hoe.
Yeah, we talking bad about bad things.
I'm talking about
We got 'em.
men. Y'all
Men?
make hoes, but you talk bad about the hoe.
Wait,
No,
stop.
Men
You can't
don't-
say a man make a hoe. What?
Yes, y'all do.
Well, yeah, well, the whole makers is a thing. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson. Yeah, whole makers. Men are whole
Nobody don't
makers.
listen to Jesse Lee
Right?
Peterson.
Yeah, men are whole makers. I got you right, but at the same time, for the most part, a hoe is already a hoe. She don't just become. You don't become a good girl and become a hoe tomorrow. You already that. So that's her lot in life. That's what she gonna be.
But y'all just said y'all trying to find a wife. Well, maybe not you right now, but you trying to find a wife
Well, that's
while
what I'm
you
saying.
fucking the hoe.
Yeah. So the hoe. That's the hoe's purpose.
That's
the
how
hoes.
it happens.
The hoes are for fucking purposes.
All I know is these
are that.
hoes
Just like
are
the
getting wives.
fuck niggas are for that, right? Or the Pookies and Ray Rays, the same thing. So let's juxtapose it with the man thing, right? So you got niggas that's never gonna be marriage material, but you know they talk about ooh girl, he whatever, right? Same thing. It's just it's the same thing on the opposite side. Men are sexually driven, right? It's not our fault. It's biological. Can't help it, right? So in between, like you said, shout out to Master C. Finding a wife is a long, difficult process.
Yeah.
Right? That's gonna take years. And in the process of it, like HAMP said, shout out to HAMP, usually a man that's able to do so, you have several different women that you're dealing with at the same time to see who's the best out of the best, right? You separate the hoes from the women, right? Now, every woman you're dealing with, if she's having sex, that'll make her a hoe. But every woman's not in the same situation, so on and so forth, right? Because we know in this society, in modern day society, we not in the 60s, we're not in the 50s. Sex is first. Everybody's having casual sex. No man is gonna wait till his marriage night to have sex with his wife. No, fuck out of here. No. So if we actually treat this how things are modernly, right? How it actually is, everybody's having sex regardless. It's just that you know the difference between a woman that's out here fucking everybody and then she's just dealing with you.
So then what makes so if we talking about body count, how many bodies she needs to make her a hoe?
That's depending on the man.
Okay, to you.
It's a formula.
For me?
First off, it's a formula, yeah.
So you
Because
can-
age is a factor in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, age is a factor in it.
Yeah,
Age-
age is
No, it's not.
Age.
It absolutely is. If she's 35, she can have a
Age-
higher body count than a 25-year-old.
Yeah, age
No.
is a. Hey, y'all gotta quiet down in the crowd. Shh. Yo. Y'all gotta quiet down. All right. So there's a formula, right?
Yeah.
She could have two bodies, right, and be a hoe. Why? Because it was a train put in the bathroom. You see?
Okay.
So there's shit that you can't come back from like that. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
I'm bugging.
No,
Right?
that makes sense.
You
That makes
did-
sense.
you automatically there. If that happened to you, that's you.
The white boys call it airtight, by the way. White boys call it airtight.
But the white boy fucking the dog too, so he don't got nothing.
We're not
So
talking about white
I
boys.
got two questions, and I'm gonna put my mic down.
Go ahead, talk your shit.
First question is, well, no. First statement I want to say is I don't think age matters because if she's 35, you expect her to have a certain amount of bodies because I guess you don't expect her to be celibate. Is that what it is?
She's been sexually active for probably 17 years at this point. So just based off of the amount of time she's been sexually active, she's going to have a higher body count than someone who's been sexually active for 5
Her
years.
opportunities are just because
Right.
more years, more opportunities to have sex.
Even if it's per year, well,
Right.
But still, it's reasonable if she's not been in a steady long relationship for her to deal with one man per year.
It just
That's
makes
17
sense.
bodies.
It makes mathematical
So yeah,
sense.
you can't. Yeah, so that don't make her.
What's the next question?
Okay, the next question is basically, I understand the train thing, but what makes a lady a hoe for real? Like overall, for majority of men, how many bodies does she have to make her a hoe, or how many bodies can she have to make her a wife? Since everybody's having sex.
So. Crazy, wild. Three is crazy. That mean all these hoes. But I don't know. Like I think Master C's like leading it on this one. I think you have to age adjust it.
No. The question is loaded, right? Because it makes it subjective. Because you can say one thing, he might say another.
From the beginning, every man.
So what it is if a woman has sex with a man that has no intentions for her, she's defiled, right? That's one thing we can agree on. So if she don't marry that man she has sex with, she defiled at that point, right? And now the man that comes after chooses to know, he knows that and he understands to deal with it. But when we keep getting asked the question, what make her a hoe? Because people have different parameters, it almost like disproves what a hoe is. But we know that she defiled if she had sex with a man that she now not married to.
So wait, when you were messing with these 5 women trying to figure out which one you wanted to marry, you made a hoe. Because you didn't marry all, you only married one out of the 5.
I didn't say hoe, but you didn't listen to what I was just saying.
One body can't make
Yeah,
a
you
hoe.
sat there and said that she
I
didn't have
was
intention.
saying-
She had intention.
I was saying defiled, right? Because the whole thing is too subject. Like Corey was saying, it's this formula.
So defiled is not a hoe.
No, because if I have
Oh, that's
sex
a
with a
different
woman,
term now.
right?
Okay.
Well, defiled is she has sex with a man that she now doesn't belong to. She not married to,
Just not married to that.
right?
So
So
she's
now
not a
she
hoe,
moves
though.
on. Well, the whole thing is subjective. That's why I'm not getting
we were going.
pigeonholed
Okay.
into that verbiage.
He's saying defiled, but it's really just, she's single and she's not a virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Because it like Gene's saying, there could be a relationship, right? She has sex, they move on. She's still defiled. The other man coming after her gotta know that. And that's the thing. The nigga that you with hates every nigga that came before you.
Okay.
All right, I want y'all to understand that. Niggas need to stop playing this game. Like, we don't fuck with none of that shit.
And women
We don't want to be nice to a nigga. We want to wrap our fucking hands around his neck if we had the opportunity.
So I'm not in the we. I just want to be clear on that.
But I'm just saying, right? I'm just being hyperbolic, right? But
I feel you.
but niggas ain't trying to be around that shit. So that's all we saying, right? So men accept this. That's all.
So when does the accountability come on the man to be more intentional with his energy and his efforts? Like I really want the men to
Are we
become
talking about sex? Who controls access to sex?
intentional about who that you are having
Okay.
sex with, because
Okay.
you. I'm asking.
Well,
I'm
first,
not,
just
it's not even
clarify
loaded.
before you
I'm
go on
about
your
to.
soliloquy.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about sex and hoism, right? Who controls access to sex, in your opinion?
A woman has to say yes. We have sex. Well, yes.
Who
Is that
controls
sex?
access to sex? Is the question.
I said the woman. I've been said that.
Okay,
a long
and
time
so now
ago.
we're talking about promiscuous sex. Whomever controls access, isn't that who you would put the onus on?
Well,
No.
I
Nah,
would say
you
what
can't.
love is asking though
Yes.
is love is asking for.
Hold on.
Let's talk it
hold on.
through.
Go ahead, Master
Well,
C.
what I would say is the consequences are yours. So I don't know why you want the men to be responsible or to take in mind your consequences, right? You're gonna be labeled a hoe, so you need to worry about the consequences. We're not gonna be labeled a hoe,
And
so
or
we're
have
not
a
worried about
baby.
the consequences.
And or be
At
pregnant,
this-
impregnated.
at this- yeah, but you gotta worry about child. Y'all sit there and cry about child support every day, all
Child
day.
support is 18 years.
I've never
Ins-
cried about it.
Yeah.
But wait,
What I'm saying is, what about the intentionality?
23
Like,
years
y'all
if
have
they
to have
went to
some
college.
accountability in this. Like, y'all are
Also-
homemakers.
thank you.
No, I
Like
got you.
basically, if you're trying to find a wife, I understand that makes a lot of sense, right? You're trying to find a wife. She thought you was gonna be her husband, but you say, hell no, I don't like you like that.
Well,
Now
so,
what?
So
That's your fault.
So
She's
now,
defiled
now we're
because she got a body.
No. So now I think we're getting into the point
This
of
is your
where.
fault, though.
So are we suggesting that
You failed the
everyone
test.
should be high school sweethearts and get their first relationship and stay in their first relationship for life and be
No
perfect?
one's saying that.
Right? That's literally what you're saying.
No,
Otherwise,
no.
what do we know?
That's-
Majority, I say this all the time. And a lot of
Use
people don't
my
understand
exact
this.
words.
Right? Most relationships fail. Business, personal, casual, intimate, whatever. Most relationships fail. Okay, so understanding that, and we understand the current thing that we're in, to where sex is a requirement for relationships. Sex is a requirement for people to deal with each other. I mean, if you want to change that narrative, you want to be that person and go out here and be like, hey, I'm putting the dick up, I'm putting the pussy up, and I'm not dealing with nobody. Good luck. Okay, but if you're going to operate in this thing and find your person, sex is going to be had. And unfortunately, like I said, over time, more likely than not, the odds say relationship may not work out. Now, that doesn't make either person a hoe. That don't make the woman a hoe. That don't make the man unintentional. Hamp said it best. We all been in serious relationships that just didn't work out. And I think a lot of the times, if you use that as the premise, I mean, if it's that's just the way it is.
So-
Unfortunately.
Gene, what you was trying to say?
I don't forgot now.
Tay, anything on this?
Oh, my bad. No. What was your main point?
Yeah. If she agrees that women control access to sex.
There we go. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Sometimes when you get older, you just need like the recharge of your memory
like
and shit. So if you're saying that she controls access, right? When y'all are both in whatever position that y'all are about to engage in sex, when do you stop having control over yourself?
So this point isn't mine. So when I got first introduced to women control access to sex, I was kind of dumbfounded by that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the key is when I asked the question, she said women control access.
No,
to
and that's what's I'm dredging up the point. Is she controls access to herself, her person. She doesn't control access to sex, because sex is the act between the both of y'all.
Yeah.
And you have control. So I think a lot of times it's just like continued narratives.
sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like she doesn't control the access to sex. That's a decision that both of y'all should be making.
You know what it is, Gene? It actually points out the lack of self-control. Because the assumption is that men gonna go if he gets an opportunity. And therefore women control access, which is probably a crux of an issue that Asia been trying to say.
And even when you use
Zen.
Zen,
Oh, shit.
Zen.
Zen La.
even when you use those talking points, it takes the onus off us.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, it's not, but
But
it's
men
not
and
a
women
onus.
aren't the same. Like a woman can't be a hoe because she's gonna be looked at in a negative light. But a man is just gonna be looked at like the man.
But
If-
again, that's
if
what I'm
has
saying.
something
If
to
you
say.
change the narrative, the nigga that's out there running around hitting everything, there's a to get back to the point of leadership, he lacks discipline, and we all do. I'm not taking I lack discipline every night I'm out here, but we lack discipline
Every night.
and we have bad leadership qualities, right? So there's like we can't just.
Is that the majority or minority of men? Again,
I don't know all them niggas.
Well, I know you like to keep it to your circle, right? So there's actual things out here what you can actually there's actual numbers and stuff you can use in data statistics, right? Majority of men don't have access to all the women. The problem is women like fucking the same nigga, right? Same ain't shit nigga. I don't know, you were aware of this whole T-app situation? You heard about that? The T-app thing? So what the T-app has proven is that the 80-20 rule, right? 80-20 says women actually like 20% of the men, the other 80% they tolerate, right? That doesn't mean the other 80% don't have sex whatsoever, but they gotta work for it. The 20% though, all they gotta do is show up and they fuck it, right? So the women keep choosing the bad leaders or the horrible men. That puts the onus on them because again, they control access to sex. Niggas not finna be out here with no Jergens and Lubriderm account, okay? Niggas not finna lotion it up. We know men are gonna motherfucking have sex when they have an opportunity to have sex.
But Mr. Fantastic, that's not a direct retort to what he said. Because what you're saying is that they're not doing it because they can't. But if they had access, they would. And that still implicates them on being undisciplined.
Yes.
No, it's not. It's, again, you can't.
What I'm saying is, would they be fucking like the 20% if they could?
Yeah, if they could, but it's not a discipline thing. It's
No,
not.
but it's not real discipline because if they were faced with the opportunity to do or not do, they would do
Yeah, I
it.
understand, but it's still not discipline because it's still going to be more so of we get into
And
the
the results, the result.
the biological aspect of it, and it is what it is. Men are we can't fault men for operating the men are supposed to operate. Men are made to have a sexual intensity, to hunt women, to want to have sex with women, to keep the fucking literal species going. That doesn't just even apply to humans. That we talk about lions all the time. That's why you have one fucking lion to 9 lionesses.
We got to stop the lion shit though.
Okay, well, gorillas.
Nah.
Dolphins.
No, but the thing is, right? Lions also sniff ass before they fuck.
And
Like there's so much shit.
the
There's so
women do
much
the
That is not true.
Y'all do too.
I have never sniffed
I'm just
ass
saying
in
that
my
there's
life.
so much shit that animals do that there's not a.
Humans are animals, though. Humans are animals. That's the thing that we forget. Humans are animals.
What'd you say?
Yes, you are. Yeah, you humans are animals. I need you to go back. Whoever said that, go back to 4th grade. Go back to 4th grade science, and humans are animals.
Mammals.
Hey,
Humans are animals.
all good points. All good points. Hey, y'all give it up. Give it up.
Check.
Hamp.
Hey man, give it up, man. Make some noise, man. Hey, give me that extra one. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Interesting topic, man. I'm definitely looking forward to the comments and the chats and all that. All right, so salute to all these questions. These questions come from the crowd, man. Salute to everybody who's in the building.
Big fact.
So this is more of a statement.
Yo.
It says,
got the answers.
the inability of black women to take accountability for their part in the dating issues within the community. So it's an emphatic statement. I guess it's a true or false.
Oh, that's what that is?
True or false?
True or false? The inability of black women, damn, I don't even know if it's a true or false.
It's not a true false.
The inability of black women to take accountability for their part in the dating issues within our community. Do you guys, I guess the question is,
Why is there inability for black women
Crazy.
to take accountability for that?
yeah, do black women take accountability for how bad the community is
No,
in terms of dating?
no, not the majority. No.
No, why?
A black woman said that.
Microphone.
Why don't women take accountability?
Yeah.
I don't think women want to give up the control.
What control?
And like they want to do what they want to do and make their own decisions. Well, let me be more specific. Black women, us, the majority of us, want to do what we want to do, don't want to follow a man, and have no interest in adjusting our behaviors to do so.
Damn. Is that true, Di?
So I just think that women don't understand what a relationship is and what's supposed to come with it. So because of that, they're not gonna, I guess, say that they're accountable for things happening.
What about what Tay said?
I agree a little bit,
What percentage do you agree? 80%?
probably like 80%.
She's saying that accountability, they avoid it because that then implicates them and it doesn't allow them to do what they want to do.
Yeah,
They're trying to
'cause if
follow
they-
no man.
Yeah, if they found themselves fault at it, that means that they're not gonna. So basically, when you find yourself fault, you're accountable. That means you want to change. So if they're not finding themselves fault, that means they're not gonna change, which means kind of leading to what she's saying.
I just think because it doesn't feel good, more so, and that's not a good enough excuse not to fall in line.
Master C, Love, Mr. Fantastic.
Love, you got any comments on this? I don't know. So this is a hard one for me. I can't really relate to this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my life different. What I would tell y'all is this: if you having trouble in dating, go find somebody else, man. Like, that's what I do. If the person that you messing with is not meeting your needs, like, go find somebody else. It's a billion people out there. Go find somebody else.
Wait, you said that's what you do? Aren't you married?
I mean, I'm speaking back in the past. That's how I got married. But before I got married, I would just go find somebody else. I don't spend a lot of time dwelling on the shit that ain't working for me. I go find what is working for me.
Good
You know
point.
what I'm saying?
Good idea. Good idea.
Yeah.
That's actually a great idea. So, you already know. You already know, y'all. Nah. I think humans have an issue with accountability. Humans.
Well, the reason why I have to interject,
and
because the question was regarding women.
because it's an implied, and that's a very loaded state. I know what the question was,
Well, let's do
but
this.
that's very.
Let's do this, Love. Answer, respond to the comment, and then you can go into what humans do.
Okay. So the comment is false, right? True, false, or what? What is how we answering it?
No, it was
Bullshit,
just a statement.
true,
It
false.
was-
Okay,
You
so
don't fuck with
false.
it?
It's just a
Yeah,
statement.
it's false. So I believe that's a false statement that women, whatever the statement was, I think it's false. I don't think it's a majority of women. Are there women out there that don't have accountability? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if I can rock with saying a majority of women have a blanket issue with accountability, like just a blanket in unaccountability or accountability issue. No, I can't say
Stop the
that.
cap.
You dead ass?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Yes.
Because the question makes it a very blanketed accountability issue, and I don't think it's a blanket. And that's where I find error in that statement.
Chat, hold on, just real quick. Chat participation, ladies only. Ladies. Ladies only. No men don't say nothing. You deep voice niggas, you testosterone motherfucking bandits don't say shit. Ladies, do women have an issue with accountability? Yes. Okay. Okay. So we go. Raise your hand for yes. If you say raise your hands for yes. If women have a problem with accountability, raise your hand. You got one. Raise your hand. Oh, don't force no hands.
Right, don't force it.
Don't force no
Raise them
hands.
high. Raise them
One,
high.
two,
Tell the truth.
You know.
Tell the truth.
So there were majority of the women in the crowd raised their hands.
He reacting up to
Okay.
something that just happened. He said, "No, put your hand down."
Yeah. That's great leadership, by the way, man. Shout out to great leaders. But yeah, man.
You gotta let her finish though.
Go ahead.
Back to what I was saying. I wouldn't. I think it's false. I see Representative. Thank y'all for being honest in your way, but I don't think you have a majority of women have a blanket issue with accountability. Can women talk to their girlfriends and be like, "Dang, I should have done better"? Yeah, they do that. Do women, if my friend comes to me and says, "Love, you should have handled that a lot better than what you did," and I trust that, and that's my friend, like friend, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I think with action to your action, and that's considered a lack of accountability. But it's like for every action, there's a reaction. If that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
and
you killing
like
your
I
own point.
said,
response now.
when my friends come to me and be like, "You could have done better. You should have done better." You're right. And I need my friends sometimes. I'd be like, "I should have done that. I shouldn't have done that.
So
I
you
should
lost-
have done it differently."
You lost every man in here.
Yeah.
You lost every nigga. I was
That's fine.
I was
Yeah,
borderline
but
rocking
that's
with her. I was
fine.
like, okay, but
And
you
that's
can't.
fine, but I wasn't not trying to win people over.
But do you see how when you even in your own description, right? When you describe you talking to your friends versus a dude telling you something, even in the way you described it in your own circumstances, you could tell like, yo, you not hearing what he's saying.
First of all, I don't like, we can't, on here, we don't speak for ourselves. Because for myself, if you want me to hear I talk, I'm very accountable. And I would be like, I was wrong for that.
No,
but
but-
I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about me right now.
Who is
Because
this?
you're talking about me. I can. I'm talking to Gene right now. I'm talking to Gene right now.
I'm new here, so-
I wasn't making it about me on purpose. I'll just give you an example.
No,
But
but
if you want me to
that-
talk
that's
about
why-
me and my friend group,
No, but that's why I acknowledged it because I know that you weren't doing it on purpose, and I
Yeah.
was just trying to highlight that it was subconscious. Like you said, yo, it was cool when you was talking to your friends. I just assumed homegirls, but your friends could be whoever.
listening to you.
But when you talking to your friends, the energy in regards to what they were saying to you was different than when you described. And when a man comes and he's da-da-da-da-da, and you immediately went there, and it was like, oh, okay. So because I don't know you, I don't know if you hear how they talk to you differently than you hear how a dude talks to you, or this nigga's just really talking to you like this, which is ridiculous.
It was literally an example. It wasn't personal. And I'm being very sincere right now. It was not personal. I'm saying a majority of women, because again, we come up here and talk about majority versus minority. We talk about not our anecdotal experience. I've been beat that into me since I've been on this freaking podcast for years. And so when I gave that example, I'm giving an example of why majority of women will sit there and maybe not accept it from a man and what men are experiencing. I'm telling you, that's more than likely to happen. And they feel safer with doing accountability and having those conversations with their friends or their homegirls versus a man they're dating. Now, a husband, I'm not talking about husbands right now. I'm talking about men they're dating. That's what I'm talking about. We're keeping it and deleting that. With your man you're dating, and he comes to you and be like, I don't like what you did X, Y, and Z. When I was telling you to do blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I did that because you did, I don't know, I'm just in a scenario, whatever.
But there's no because.
You see what I'm saying?
But you do what that man say, ain't no because.
Oh, I ain't rocking with that
Oh
either.
yeah, no, I
But-
don't.
Right.
Yeah,
But
I don't
there's
rock
no
with that
excuse,
either.
like,
Just
what
because
are you
because you're
saying to
dating,
him?
just because a mandate says and you're dating him, you
But
just do it because.
even in
I'm
your
talking about
example,
dating.
even in your example,
that's not
immediately
about
you got
us.
pushback.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm just
I'm
saying
talking
your
to you. I'm
example,
sorry.
you immediately have pushback.
let's baseline it, right? And then Di, you could jump in. So here's what it sounds like is immediately you are defensive when you talk to that man.
Most women
And then
Yes.
but that's what's being
That's why I said you lost
Sorry.
the
and
argument.
so that's what's actually that's the question. If most
That's the
women
accountability
react
part.
negatively off a pushback or something she disagrees with, that will show by proxy the lack of accountability. Seemingly, right?
And
That I'm just saying that would be that would be the takeaway from that. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
hold
and
on,
then
hold on,
the last
fantastic.
thing, right?
done had
The
the
one
mic for
thing
the last 5 minutes.
the one thing that you said was the person comes to you, right? And
The
you have
male
to
or the female? I'm
It
sorry.
was a woman.
Okay, yes,
And
it's a
she had
woman.
you have to trust her and all these things, right? In order
Trust
for you
allows
to
you to be
take
vulnerable.
in order for you to take the criticism, right? But if somebody tells me a thing and I know I'm wrong, all this trust and how much they care about me matters not if I can see that behavior was unbecoming.
Or
should
maybe
be
I
able
don't.
to take
But maybe I don't see it. That's the thing.
like me,
That's
both of y'all.
That's the
I got
inability.
the microphone right now, right? So that's the part though. That's the part. that shows the lack of accountability because this person has to be a proven commodity of some sort for me to be corrected.